Hi everybody, this is lesson 16 and it involves minor scales. We've been talking about minor for a while and I just want to remind you of the difference between major and minor. So major, here's a major scale. This happens to be A major scale. It has half steps between 3 and 4 and 7 and 8. There's 3, 4, and here's 7, 8. Everything else is a whole step. But a minor scale, which is a different mode, has half steps between 2 and 3 and 5 and 6. So here's A minor. Completely different sound. Here's the half step between 2 and 3. And here's the half step between 5 and 6. That's what they call the natural minor scale. It's the one that conforms to the key signature. Now it has a problem. Right there. The problem with that is that when we play a major scale and we get to there is something very compelling about the 7th note of the scale that actually forces you, wants you, please, to get to the end of the scale. Please resolve to 8. It's like a demand. It's in human nature to respond that way. We really like that, but a minor scale doesn't have it. We just don't care. You can resolve up if you want to. You can go back down. I don't really care. And composers have found that very difficult. Not only with the melodies, but also with the harmonies. They want to be able to go. But with this scale is what they get. Instead of they get. Yeah. So, because they need that raised 7th, they need that's what's called the leading tone. They have altered the minor scale like that. They raise the 7th note of the scale, creating an augmented second. That's what that's called, an augmented second. And a half step between 7 and 8. Snake charmer music is what I like to call that. That is very common in Eastern European cultures. Jewish culture, Russian culture, Eastern European, Slavic countries, they use that scale a great deal. And so we sometimes are reminded of that kind of music when we hear that scale. That is called the harmonic minor scale because it makes the harmony easier to construct. But it still has a problem, and that is that augmented second is hard to sing. It's hard to sing in tune. And so composer said, well, we can mess with the 6th note of the scale and raise that, and then we'd have a raised 6th and a raised 7th. 6, 7, 8. They could borrow 6 and 7 from the major scale. Very cheery, sounds wonderful. And it is borrowed from the major scale. It leaves one thing that still makes the scale minor, and that's the 3rd. Right there. If it were, it would be major. It's minor. So if you raise the 6th and the 7th, you have what's called a melodic minor scale because it makes the melodies easier to write and to sing in tune. But it has a problem, and that problem is that it loses some of its melancholy, right? It loses some of its sad quality that composers really like when they are writing songs in a minor mode. And so they made one more concession to the melodic minor scale. They said, well, we can go up like that, but let's come down back in the sad mode. So we'll come up with the raised 6th and the raised 7th, but on the way down, we'll lower them again. That's how they mess with you. And so there are 3 forms of the minor scale. There is a key signature for the minor scale, and that is indicative of the natural minor scale. That's the scale that conforms with the key signature. The harmonic minor scale with a raised seventh is very common. We hear it all the time, but it has that very difficult interval to sing. And then the melodic minor scale is different going up than it is coming down, which gives you all kinds of melodic possibilities. So when we're looking at minor music, we actually have to ask ourselves, if we're interested in this kind of thing, we have to ask ourselves, which of the three minor scales are we actually working with? I have found 3 rounds, all of them simple. One of them is more difficult than the others, and partly because, at least to me, it's not familiar. And it uses the melodic minor scale. I found another one that uses the natural minor scale, and I found a third one that uses the harmonic minor scale, just to give you examples of the 3 different scales and how they're used. So my hope is that you will sing along with me in unison, and that then you will also learn the tune well enough to try to sing along with me in a round. So I will sing the songs several times in a row so that you, first of all, you can learn them, and then secondly, so that you can sing with me in a round, which is fun to do on a rainy day, which it is right now. So the first one, which is the melodic minor, that's the one that's raised 6th and 7th going down, lowered 6th and 7th, raised 6th and 7th going up, lowered 6th and 7th going down. It's called Let Us Sing, and it was an unfamiliar one to me, but here's how it goes. This is in the key of C minor. Melodic minor, though. That's the key we're in, C minor. Here's the song. Let us sing when we are sad. Let us sing when we are glad. For singing is the thing that makes our hearts glad. So sing, sing, ever sing. So we have the singing is the thing. Those are with the raised. And then makes our hearts glad. Those are lowered. So that's how I've written this in melodic minor. Let me do it again. Let us sing when we are sad. Let us sing when we are glad. For singing is the thing that makes our hearts glad. So sing, sing, ever sing. Let us sing when we are sad. Let us sing when we are glad. For singing is the thing that makes our hearts glad. So sing, sing, ever sing. Let us sing when we are sad. Let us sing when we are glad. For singing is the thing that makes our hearts glad. So sing, sing, ever sing. One more. Let us sing when we are sad. Let us sing when we are glad. For singing is the thing that makes our hearts glad. So sing, sing, ever sing. Okay, that one is in the melodic minor. Now let's move on to the natural minor. This is the one that conforms to the key signature. And the song that I picked is Hini Matov, which is in Hebrew. The words are Hini Matov Umanaim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. I'll do that a little slower. Hine Matov Umanaim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanaim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. I think it means how wonderful will be the day when nations can live together in peace. This one is in E minor, and the key signature is an F sharp. I'm playing the scale with just an F sharp in it. But this is natural minor, and that's the scale we're going to use. So there are modifications you can make, but we're not going to in this song. This is natural minor. Here's Hini Matov. Hine ma tovu manaim, shevet achim gam yachad. Repeat. Hine ma tovu manaim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manaim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manaim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manaim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manaim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Now that one, when I get to the second section, is when you should start the first section. So basically, the two sections sound nice together. It's a two-part round, and 1, 2, 3, 4 measures apart. Actually, 8 measures apart because you sing everything twice. So after 8 measures, you come in at the beginning, whereas I'm going to go on with the next 8 measures. Okay, the third one is Ah Poor Bird, and it is in the harmonic minor scale. It's in D minor. Now, D minor has a B flat in the key signature. That's the scale with a B flat in it, just as the key signature says. But if I were going to play it in the harmonic minor, I would have to borrow a C sharp. So you need to hear that C sharp. It's very, very common. I would say most of the minor music that one runs across is written in this harmonic form. It follows the key signature, but it uses the raised seventh. Very common. Ah Poor Bird is a fairly well-known hymn and very simple. You should learn it right away. I would just caution you, as a voice teacher, I have to tell you that the vowel on poor should be poor, like double O, poor bird. Otherwise, it starts to sound a lot like the vowel in bird. And it becomes kind of wishy-washy, which we are when we speak in American English. We're very wishy-washy. This is Ah Poor Bird. So make sure you distinguish between those two vowels. Here's how it goes. Ah, poor bird, take thy flight far above the sorrows of this sad night. Ah, poor bird, take thy flight far above the sorrows of this sad night. Ah, poor bird, take thy flight far above the sorrows of this sad night. Ah, poor bird, take thy flight far above the sorrows of this sad night. Ah, poor bird, take thy flight far above the sorrows of this sad night. So I've given you 3 rounds, and rounds may seem sort of unimportant to you, but as someone who's been teaching young people and beginners how to sing for all my career, I have found that particularly for people who have never harmonized, never sung anything except a tune in unison with other people, and has to learn how to sing alto, tenor, bass, to sing something other than the tune, that's very, very challenging for many people. And if you teach them rounds, if you teach them how to sing a round, they find themselves doing something independent from somebody else. And the somebody else might be sitting or standing very close to them. And yet they're able to sing their part. And they begin to learn independence and to be able to hear what they're doing irrespective of what the other people around them are doing. And that is a very, very, very crucial skill when it comes to choral singing. So for those of you who sometimes wonder why I sometimes waste my time on rounds, it actually gives the inexperienced and shy singers an opportunity to learn how it is to sing independent of other people. And so I hope that you will take advantage of these and sing along with me, not only with me, but in a round with me. And perhaps bring in a third person in your household who likes to sing, and we could get a 3-part round going or a 4-part round. It's actually really fun, and they can sound really, really beautiful. In the meantime, I hope you have a great week. I hope that you don't forget to vote. It's really important. And I hope that you are staying warm and enjoying some of the pleasures that fall offers us in this very strange and unique year of our lives. Let us pray that it is the only year we see quite like this one. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.